Hello everyone, it's time for the ride lines for Triple Drive Booster. It's been a long time waiting, so let's begin. And this time we got Blacksmith Dragons. But before we start out with the ride lines though, here's the quick start deck promo cards, which will include one Trigger and one PG or one Blitz Order Sentinel. I have to say I'm glad that these are going to be the promos because they're going to be reprint promos that are actually useful rather than some new promo that might be 4-ofs. So I'm really glad that they did this instead. And now to the ride line itself, here's the starter, Apprentice Blacksmith Zedolance, which we go to the grade 1 with K power, Hopeful Blacksmith Zedolance, which has the skill of auto. When placed by riding on top of a grade 0 Zedolance, look at top 5 cards from your deck, choose up to one Ironforge card from among them, reveal it and put it in your hand, and of course shuffle your deck. Basically searches up your pieces, but surprisingly doesn't searches up your main card because this is the first Dragon Empire deck to have a set order. That being Burning Ironforge Workshop. It's a grade 2 set order and you just play it if you have a Zedolance Vanguard, and the skill is Act Order Zone. Cost, rest this card, choose one of your units, it gets this 5k power into your turn, and then if you chose a unit with Ironforge into your opponent's next turn, it gets Intercept and 5k shield. This skill is going to be very important because it's going to relate to all your Ironforge ability cards. And then we go to the grade 2 with 10k power, Ironforge Dragon Zedolance, which has the skill Auto. When placed by riding on top of the grade 1 Zedolance, search your deck for one Blacksmith card, reveal it, and add it to your hand, and of course shuffle your deck. And here's the way you search up the set order. Either way, it's just very important to search up your key pieces. And then we go to Ironforge Dragon King Zedolance, which is a grade 3 with 13 power and skills auto. When placing by riding on top of the Zedolance, cost Soul Blast 1, search your deck or drop zone up to one set order, reveal it, and add it to your hand. And if you search your deck, shuffle it. Basically another way to search out your set order because you will want multiple of them just to activate multiple abilities. So this is overall not too bad, especially gives you an excuse to Persona Ride. But the second skill is the main one, where Auto Vanguard once per turn, when this card attacks, cost counter blast 1. This card gets drive +1 until the end of turn, and if you've chosen 3 cards from the Blacksmith card from your order zone, aka your set order, at the end of the battle, you can stand this unit and this card gets 10k power and drive -3. So basically a driveless restand. The drive +1 is pretty nice because that card is getting by default, but the second part where you can achieve it for an extra attack is also not too bad, especially if they decide to make support to give this more drives. The only unfortunate part is that this card doesn't really get power on its own, so it's going to be triple drive with not much power. And now to the support cards. We start off with Ironforge Knight Hadid, which is a grade 1 K power and the skills Auto Rearguard. When this card is boosted and was chosen by the ability of the Blacksmith card from your order zone, Soul Charge 1. And here's what I mean about the chosen part of your Blacksmith cards. And it's also nice that they get Intercept from it. But anyway, the second skill is Auto Rearguard. At the end of battle that this unit boosts, if you have a grade 3 or greater Zedolance, if you do not countercharge this turn, you can retire this unit to countercharge. Considering that you can recycle this from the drop zone, it's not entirely too bad to retire this, and countercharging is always nice. Next, Ironforge Soldier Dragon Lightning Surge Dragon, which is grade 2 with 10 power and the skills Auto Rearguard. When this card is chosen by the ability of the Blacksmith card from your order zone, if you have grade 3 or greater Zedolance, this card cannot be chosen by your opponent's card abilities until your opponent's next turn. Not too bad for some resists, but the second skill is that Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks, if this card is chosen by the ability of a Blacksmith card from the order zone, counterblast 1 to draw a card. Considering that this deck doesn't really use too much counterblast when you have a countercharge engine, this isn't too bad. And it does add some consistency to add more pieces back to your hand, and you might get more Ironforge cards. Finally, Ironforge General Dragon Fierce Scalar Dragon, which is grade 3 with 13 power and the skills Auto Rearguard. When this card attacks the Vanguard, if this card is chosen by the Blacksmith card from your order zone, this card gets 5k power to the end of the battle, then cost Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. You have an easy Soul Charge engine, so the Soul Blast 2 isn't too hard, and this is the only card that Soul Blasts, so Soul is not even an issue for this deck. Not entirely saying that this might be worth it, but you have options. So that's it for the new Ironforge or Zedolance ride line. What do you guys think of it? I say it's an okay ride line. Power is kind of lacking, I would have to say, but gaining resources isn't too bad. I do like the concept of the idea, and it is the first Dragon Empire deck to have a set order, so it's overall not too bad. I just wish that there's a little more to it. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.